Hello, Sula here from MistyHilltops.com. Thanks for stopping by. I finally put the first part of my Traveler's Notebook album together. That is my Israel 2019 mini album, and there's more than one part to this, but I finally got to creating finishing up the first part so that it is actually a book. For the cover, I created 2 tags, and then I have a die cut set where I just watercolored it and that and stamped. All of this is stamped. So for this album, I'm using, for the most part, I'm using the digital version of the Transatlantic Travel collection by Carta, but there's also a few other digital scrapbooking kits that I'm using. So here, this is the first page, and I'm using some ribbon. So this is very typical of my pages. I use many dies. This is a piece of yarn that I added here, and so there's I tried to use different elements here. This is where I used more of the background pattern paper to work with this page, and I like how this turned out. And then the stamped title there. Here I used another full background page or just the pattern paper from the collection there. This is actually by the Seaside from Carta, but I will not be able to tell you each scrapbooking product that I used. I have created process videos of each of the pages. You can just check the playlist Israel 2019 mini album or something like that, and you will find in every video I will explain which product I used to create the page. So here, for example, I'm also using some print and cuts with the silhouette. So these flowers are silhouette flowers that come from the store that I have in my library stash. These are just elements that come from the collection by the sea, and I just printed them on thick cardstock, and I do not use the print and cut feature that comes with the silhouette. I find it doesn't work so well for me, so I have my own way of doing it, and I have a video tutorial that you can check out. I'll leave a link in the description box below, so you can check it out if you like. So here I started working with some watercolor in the background, and then this title is also just a cut with my silhouette print. I first printed it and then cut it. So there's a mixture of elements from the silhouette store. For example, this bunting is just one I cut from this with the silhouette. But then a lot of times I just use this is a punch flower, but I also use dies for this. This is a fun page, and so I decided with this album to go with rings again. And what I like about it is I can put the pages together. They fall apart when you put them down, but I can still put them together as one, so that they show me the full design there. So this is a circle, and then I ran my sewing machine around it, and I love how it turns out with all the kind of messy look in the background that I created. Again, there's a process video for each of these pages. Also, I have made available each of these pages as templates, so you can find them as freebie on my blog. So they are obviously for Traveler's Notebooks, but Traveler's Notebook is about 8 by 8, a little larger than that, and you can easily turn it into a 12 by 12 scrapbook page and use those templates for that. Just remove the double-sided background there, and you can reuse the designs very easily. So if you are interested, you can go to my website MistyHilltops.com, and you can find the templates for each of these pages there on the blog. Also, here is some stamps that I used. Again, this is a washi tape that happened to have the same color scheme. So here is, again, there's some stamps, some more dies, and then this is a bunting that I created. I didn't even print out the back because I knew it wasn't going to be visible, so I only printed one side of it and then cut it out. So again, here's the page that how it looks put together, and some more flowers that I have with my dyes, and then a dye, I used an alpha dye for the title. This page, I loved how it turned out with the lighthouse here, and then the various embellishments that I put together, and then paint splats. I always love the pages that have the paint splats. I should use it a lot more often on my pages. This alpha, or this title, I created using some of my colored pencils with a stencil, and then I added just very faint brushes of the same blue onto the page here. This is another page here. I have a cork where I stamped on the cork and then used some of my dyes to cut that out. These birds are stamped and then fussy cut. So here again is another cork embellishment. Then I have the title again is cut with one of my dyes. Lots of these print and cuts. I have all these word bits that I create myself, and I share these word strips as freebie on my blog. You get an entire sheet full of different themes. This one is travel themed, but I have all different kinds of themes, and all you need to do is then print it on cardstock, trim it, and then you can use these on your projects the way I have. Here again I have a cork flower, so I stamped on cork and then cut it out. These were fussy cut. Here, for the first time, I'm using a different kit, but again, I don't remember the name, so you can find the process video of this and then check out what product was used for this. And then here's another different digital scrapbooking kit that I used for this page. Also added a little bunting here, and then I love the stamps that make the background a little messy there. So it's not always watercolor, sometimes I use stamps. But here again, I'm using, for the background, I'm using watercolor, and then this is actually texture paste with a stencil. I added these, this kind of, it's a texture paste background, so it's dimensional, I can feel it. I colored the texture paste so that it would have that to it. And then here's also, I just used one of my alpha stamps with just a simple circle die to create this title here. And this is the last page, and I just kept it simple with some digital scrapbook product and added the title here and stamps that are either colored or just used as black and white stamps. A little bunting, and this is my the first part of my Israel 2019 Traveler's Notebook album done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.